Okay, recording has started. Welcome everyone. We are on week number 45 of 2019. I'm Emin Mart. I'm moderating the Eternity Developers and Researchers call. And yeah, everybody who is participating will give a short update about the project that they're mainly involved with. And yeah, and then we make a round. And today we start with Daniela, please, and the Elixir SDK.
Hello everybody. This week we made a new release with full compatibility to Eternity Node version 5.02. We added support for key store and middleware. Also added spend by name feature. This feature allows users to pass any valid name instead of giving whole public key. We added for each function documentation and example. Also, we adjusted the main documentation. Currently, we're having a hackathon in which we all are trying to implement various mini applications and field testing our SDKs. This from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniela. And yeah, nice to hear that. I was going to ask it, but you already answered it. So documentation gets better, examples are there, and a little hack mini stuff is coming. So this is really, really good, I think, and extremely important for future adoption. Thank you very much. I jump to Andrea is next, and I also see John and Andrew. So we have Go SDK, Python, and JavaScript SDK and middleware in one screen. So please give me your update here.
Yes. So, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So we start with the middleware updates. Are still working on name queries and try to improve the way of accessibility of especially for name auctions, and of course there is always a lot of work dedicated to performance optimization, because it's one of the core feature of the middleware. For the SDKs, as Daniela said, we are currently doing a mini hackathon internal between the developers of the SDKs to create examples and also to experience working with SDKs from a user perspective, so try to improve it before it gets to the end of the development. So if we can find something that is not proper, we can fix it before. More in general, we'll say that we have been busy with supporting the Limar fork. There were some problems related to name auctions and calculating name fees and understanding what is the actual time for duration of the auctions. So now we dedicate this week to put a little bit of order in our repository. What are the issues that are, let's say, grooming the issues that are still open, and planning for the new releases. And we hope to be able to release all the features that are actually in pipeline, but that they have been somehow left behind because of the focus on the Limar fork. There is going to be a new release of the node. Probably Sergey is going to talk about this later. So we still have to dedicate a bit more time to test for the coming release. So to make sure there is not going to be any surprise when we actually can move out. And this will be everything from my side.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, it was a little bit loud in the background, but I could hear most of the stuff, and I think the important information got over. Yeah, it's also great that you do those little internal hackathons, and also in December in Sofia, there will be a developer meetup again, and also we will spend a full day on hacking and playing around with everyone who wants to join, plus everyone who is there from from the active development community. So yeah, this will be very interesting, I think. And thank you, Andrea, for this large update about across those different projects and teams. Thank you. You mentioned Sergey and the protocol, as you are very, or like especially the SDK teams are very dependent on what's happening there, and when stuff is changing, you don't want the SDKs to break and smoothly to work. So Sergey, what's happening on the protocol front?
So hi everyone. So on the protocol front, during this week we're mostly like spending time preparing our next release, like the first release after the Lima hard fork. As I think I already said before, when we decided to dedicate a little bit more time than usually to testing this release, and one reason is in the time when we were like between the testnet hard fork and mainnet task hard fork, part of the team was testing the Lima functionality, but the other part of the team was working on the new features which were supposed to be released after the Lima hard fork. And basically this 5.1.0 release is going to include them, namely the biggest one are hard fork signaling and garbage collection. And since they're pretty massive, we decided let's spend a little bit more time making the tests and make sure that everything is right on track. So some of our members were extensively writing quick check models, so our super weapon for testing, where like instead of writing exact test cases, you just describe the models of how your functionality is supposed to work, and then you just run tests, and thousands and millions of tests are generated overnight. So something that you will never achieve if you just directly write the test case. And fortunately or unfortunately, we were from time to time finding new bugs which we had to fix, to polish and re-verify again. So basically that's what we spent most of the time. But as I'm speaking, I think the release candidate for 5.1.0 is being uploaded into the GitHub. So we decided to follow release candidate pattern right now to allow client like SDK and base app people to do more rigorous testing. If everything works as we planned, there actually should be any issues for them, because the 5.1.0 must be backwards compatible to 5.0.0, but we decided better careful and safe. So I think as I see the GitHub, this release is uploaded. So take a notice, it's a pre-release, so you're not supposed to upgrade it, but you're welcome to play with it. And if nobody finds any issues over the weekend or beginning of the next week, I think Monday, Tuesday, we're going to retake it as 5.1.0. Yeah, so this is it. I think we have Ulf, who can tell more about state channels, Uri also, and Carol, I think they can cover in more details the areas. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you very much, Sergey. I think it's very good that this is starting now with the release candidates, and we're not only pushing releases out without giving others the chance to test it. We always did this with the breaking changes and the major upgrades, and now we're also doing this with the smaller ones. I think this will help everyone a lot. Yeah, and as we are, I think, or as we are like in the protocol round now, I would say we finish it up like you suggested. So maybe Ulf, you can tell us about your past week digging into state channels.
Actually, I'll happily leave that to Dimitar, who I know is itching to tell you about his experience.
Oh yeah, perfect.
With Hans throwing curveballs at him. So Dimitar.
Yeah, I believe it's not easy to have Hans in your bag. So please,
yes.
Dimitar, tell us.
Hans is a Rockstar quick check module writer, and he wrote quite extensive channels tests. And for the past week, he found a bunch of bugs that are now fixed. So every other day he was finding something new, and we were fixing it. And now we have extremely good test coverage. and a lot of stuff is optimized and polished. We've also developed a functionality that was identified as really useful while preparing the conference application. The CoinFabric people asked if whenever Alice starts an update, she can add some random metadata to that update. That would signal something to Bob, so that would be easier for participants to make to build their own protocols inside channels. And now this is extended to all channel transactions off-chain and on-chain, and it's working really smooth. So this is there as well. And I think this is our progress for the past week.
Yeah, perfect. It's a very nice progress. And I also want to mention here a little thing about, Ulf, I hear myself. Can you mute yourself? I'm sorry. I don't know why. Perfect. Thank you very much. I recently read the Libra Facebook white paper, and there is a whole paragraph talking about property-based testing, which I thought is really interesting, as it's kind of sort of an invention from the QuickCheck guys. And yeah, I think it's really, really good that we have the time now, or spending lots of time in improving those tests, and at the same time where we develop the software. So really nice. Thank you, Dimitar. And Ulf, of course. Ulf, you want to add something here, or are we through with state channels?
Just a slight clarification. It's the on-chain transactions that have an off-chain part. That is, the deposit and withdrawal transactions can also be annotated, but it doesn't show up on the chain. So it was just a minor detail.
Yes.
Still, thank you for adding it.
But it's really important one, so people can actually build their own protocols.
Absolutely.
Cool. Really would also be nice, and when we do like these little hackathons, that we like for all those little features, and that when we can come up the same way like Daniela said it, with little guides or little examples, that it's getting more approachable for people that want to use those features. I think we have to also invest a lot of time and effort into this in the future, and we will for sure. Maybe not necessarily you, but someone who wants to make state channels even more attractive than they are right now. So thanks a lot. Next one in line would be Juraj. So Juraj, please let us know how was your week.
Hi. So this week I was mostly working on the sync. I was trying to find out how to make it faster, and I noticed that we do some validations twice, or we do these validations in the wrong place. So basically we have one process called conductor, which we use to add blocks to the chain. And this process can be overloaded sometimes when we try to add a lot of blocks during short time period to the database. So basically what I found is that we can take some of the validations from this process and put them in other processes that try to add blocks to this conductor. And this way, in theory, we can make the sync faster. I just need to, implement these changes and try to measure it. I haven't implemented everything yet. But basically, I can put block validations outside the conductor process, which is quite expensive operation. And also, I'm looking into how to validate transaction signatures outside of conductor process as well. But this other change should make it faster for sure. And I guess the next week I will have some numbers to see if I made it faster or not.
Nice.
And that's about it.
Nice. Extremely important work. Today I had a meeting. There was also the question, or actually it came up how hard it is to think modern blockchains, like try to think in full Ethereum node or something like that. And it can quite a pain, like a very, very huge pain. And what happens then if people are not able to do that properly, they go to centralized services, and we kind of lose all the idea of a decentralized network where you run your own node. So very important work. Thank you very much, Juraj. I will, before I come to you, Andy, because you're our guest, I want to finish up with a protocol round and give Carol or hear Carol's update, please.
Can you hear me now, right?
Yes.
So I was writing the paper about the garbage collection of the account states. It's almost in the final shape now. It describes the way how we basically lower the amount of space we need for accounts by several orders of magnitude. It's supported with hard measurements and timings, so and a couple pictures explaining the whole process. So if you're interested, please take a look into our Eternity papers repository, where we collect these bits. And yeah, it took longer than I thought, but I think it's a nice piece of work. So this will be finally finished today, and yeah, well, let's see what's going on next week.
Cool, great. Thanks a lot, Carol.
Thanks.
Yeah, I haven't had the chance, and I'm very sorry that I, like some of the updates, also the bigger ones, I personally didn't have the chance to read through all of this yet, but it's on my to-do list, and I will do it, and I will also give feedback. And I would also welcome a lot of other people who are interested in that topic to like read and feedback those things, because we also want to do this so like other people can profit from that work or learn from the mistakes and the solutions we found in this process. So it's part of, I think, open source development to not only ship the code, but also describe why we have done this and how we have done this. So Andy, you are the next one. I think we also are, I haven't invited you to come to Sofia. You are invited. So yeah, if you have time, first week of December, please let me know.
Yes, I have already replied. The hotel is already booked, so I'll be there. Yes, perfect. So from our side, we have again worked mostly on internal things. So in our coin library, we have now finished finally the work on the dependency stuff. That is now finally implemented, and we have integrated it in both apps and are currently testing. We have also started working on the new version of the serializer. That will be a new AEX after the AEX 7 has been closed. So it's more in line with AEX 2. Then on the app side, we have, as I said, worked mostly on internal stuff in the vault. So we have tested thoroughly with the new dependency changes, also with Ionic and Angular upgrades. We have also started working on the multi-QR. So it should be possible in the future to sign contract calls, even if they are larger than fit in one QR, because you can have multiple ones. And in the wallet, we have removed all the AE token migration specific UI elements, and we have also improved the chart loading. That was a bit slow, especially on networks that were not so fast. Yeah, that's it from our side.
Cool.
Thanks.
Really, really nice that you mentioned the contract call signing and stuff. I think one thing that is still kind of hanging in the air and nobody did with the wallet is facilitating Schnorr signatures, which is absolutely possible with Eternity and having multi-signature wallets, not as a smart contract, but as Schnorr. I think this is also something that one of the wallet teams could tackle one day, because I think it's an extremely interesting topic. And this Schnorr guy, I think he's even alive. We could even meet him and have a nice meeting and get something out of that. Just an idea which I came up with. So Milan, as we are talking about wallets, please give us your update too. Thank you very much, Andy.
Hello, guys. So this week we've been working on our AX2 compatibility branch, which is ready. We've worked on a separate branch because AX2 is currently not yet finalized, but we improved our wallet to be compatible with applications that are released to be used with the base app. And we also did, we created our fork of the SDK, so we can change a bit stuff that are related to the AX2 in order for us to support that. We also conducted a call yesterday, the regular expansions call, where we discussed what are the next steps in order for this to be released in the SDK, and so we can include it as a feature in the wallet in our next releases. So this is for the AX2 part. We finished our work on the UI for the token migration for the locked tokens for the ERC20 tokens. And we've actually released a new release this week, which is compatible with Lima. We yesterday found some issues with when dealing with tokens after trying to add a token that is deployed on the AVM. And now we have some issue with the smart contract token registry because it is deployed on the Lima, and we have thought of, now we are thinking of some mechanism to handle backwards compatibility of tokens that are deployed on the previous virtual machine, so we can handle them inside the wallet as easy as we handle the newer ones. We have another problem as of yesterday, which is Firefox doesn't allow files to be larger than 4 megabytes when you are uploading an extension, but our extension is 4.1 with the new release. So we are now brainstorming and thinking of how we can separate our build in multiple files in order to satisfy that requirement and not slow down the release propagation to the Firefox store. Otherwise, the new release is available on GitHub and also in the GitHub in the Chrome store. It's published there, should be alive probably today. And yeah, this is from our side, from the wallet side. I personally have been working a bit on the aeternity.name listing website, which shows the Eternity naming system auctions and currently active and also finished auctions. We've one thing I forgot to mention is we also implemented UI and functionality for bidding for participating in the Eternity naming system auctions inside the wallet, but it's not yet that well tested because of the sort of emergency release yesterday. So please use it with caution, and please report if you find any bug while using it. That's it. Thank you.
Nice. It's really nice. I think the wallet project is really nice. It brings stuff really with user interfaces and features out there. And I think now we can have, like, if we would count it, I think the wallet extension itself maybe has 20, 30 different features when you think about it, what it can all do. And it's a really, really nice use case for users to play around and see what you can do. I think the next step would be, and this is, I rather see this in the responsibility of the SDK teams, to like have good examples, good guides, and kind of that if you say, oh, I want to have like exactly this little feature in my application, that they know where to go and where to get the information. And of course, Milan, you will need to do a lot of support in the forum. This is very clear. So I'm really, really happy that the token migration works. You have also mentioned this with the non-transferable tokens. I saw there are lots of questions in the Eternity forum, and Martin, you deal with all that. Have there been any surprises, and how is it going on this side?
Hey guys, yeah. The token migration is going. I'm happy also that some of the users have migrated their token successfully. Unfortunately, we have experienced some small issue in the backend, which was making the transactions unsuccessful, but we managed to find it and fix it, and we already deployed new versions, new version of the backend. So the users haven't locked again their tokens or lost them or something like that. We are sure about this. I have notified them in the forum that they can try again, and I believe that everything is going to be all right. a part of this, we have managed to also make some improvements on AE project side. So we are working on updating the plugin for the JetBrains product, the highlighting tool. Also, we have added new functionality to the AE project, which is called the transaction inspector. So now the users will be able to validate their transaction just simply using one command and passing the raw transaction. And if they have some issues with failing transactions, they will now know what is the cause of this. Also, we have updated the documentation because we have found that some users have found missing parts in the documentation, like that our requirement is to use Docker Compose version at least 1.20. So we have added some of these things into the documentation. Also, we have updated the migration guide from 4JE to AE project because we have found an issue. Milen was reporting it, and one other user was reported by them. So we have also updated this into the documentation. We have updated the shapes commands. They are now working well with the latest changes in the AE project and Lima. And also we have added npm test script into the newly initiated project with AE project. This was a feature request by Pivo in GitHub. So yeah, this is also available now. And this is those are the updates from our side for this week.
Really, really good. Thank you very much, Martin. And yeah, I also follow all the forum topics, and it's good to see. Thank you for your power in there. Also, I mean, maybe not everybody knows this, so I'm just like commenting this, or you can see that I'm commenting a lot of stuff. But AE project is like our truffle, like development framework at Eternity's side. Other blockchains like Tron have Tronbox, Tezos have Tezos, whatever. And this is quite a common thing to just help developers to set up their development environment and especially develop smart contracts. And yeah, Martin is coordinating the efforts here. So thanks a lot. And give him feedback if you're a developer and trying it out. I think a lot of feedback is needed and is valuable here. So yeah, Martin is the one also you can reach out to in the forum. Thank you, Martin.
Yeah, feedback is appreciated. Yeah, thank you.
So next one here in line, I see David, and I also saw that you published, or your team published, quite a big report about your experience with state channels. And yeah, I didn't read it all, but I saw already the work you put into it. So thanks a lot. And I will definitely also respond here. So please let us know what else have you done this week.
Hi, hi everyone. Can you listen to me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Aran was working on some usability issues on the apps for the base app, and I was finishing the document and implementing a better way for payment acceptance checking that I mentioned in the final report. I think that was most of what we did, and we also created some issues or questions in the forums about some things on the state channels. That's it.
Thank you very much, David. And yeah, I promise you, you will get my response early next week on everything, because I saw a couple of emails and blog posts and forum posts.
Sure.
Cool.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Another guest here is Omar. Omar, are you in Uruguay? Or where are you right now? I can unfortunately not hear you. Maybe reload the window or use a different browser. Sometimes this is with Jitsi, it's not working. Or use a mobile phone. It's actually a very good app. The Jitsi app is open source, encrypted. There is a mobile phone app. for Android and iOS, which works quite nice. It works in the browser. I'm a big fan of Jitsi. You can do live streaming to YouTube. You can record the calls directly to Dropbox. It's a very, very powerful, free, open source tool. And yeah, shout out to Jitsi if somebody listens to this. I became a fan over the past months. So as we did not hear Omar, he's trying it again. So Omar, you have a last chance here before we close the round. 1, 2, 3. Let's wait for 30 more seconds. Yes, perfect. Omar, so you have the last word before we all go into a weekend or continue working.
Well, I'm about the question. Yes, I'm in Uruguay. We had people here in Uruguay all this week, so I have a couple of exciting stuff to say about that. We were working on teaching like 15 teachers at the ORT University. They were trained by people. They learn about Sophia. They learn about faith. They learn about what is in the future and some research topics. So very, very exciting. We had a couple of meetups with the community. So we keep building that and explain about blockchain in general and all the features that we have in aeternity. And on the development subject, we are at full engine working with the cannabis traceability application. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we are going to be showing interesting stuff, and probably I'll be bothering a lot of people on the forum, like always.
Please do so.
Yes. So today, P-Boy has a free day. He went to know about Colonia, a nice city we have on the west, and so very excited. It was very entertaining.
Can I also ask, do you also use some of the Decade.org courses, or have you like shared them and walked through them?
So sorry, what did you say? Can you repeat?
There's this one platform, Decade.org, which also made a course on Sophia and Eternity one-on-one.
Yes, I use it myself at the beginning, and here at the company we use it too. And actually, there was an SDK change at that time.
Yes,
but we used it. Yes.
Cool. Very interesting to hear. Yeah, I mean, this is it's really nice. I would love to be in Uruguay now and with you guys, and actually also learn, because I have spent not enough time in learning all that stuff. So I think you are all quite ahead of my curve already. So thank you very much for your update. Who was streaming?
Yeah, could you give you also like a little shout out to the newsletter? That more people will subscribe. So yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah, exactly. So Pega, who just voiced herself, collected all the written updates, and she will do this now once in a month and put them in the Eternity Inside Eternity newsletter. So it's basically a collection of all links and all updates that you can get in your inbox, and where you like quickly see all the updates. So it's really, really important also that people kind of, especially when there are new releases, new features, a new guide, a new example in the documentation, that you kind of share those things in the forum so Pega can collect it. And through the Eternity Foundation, we can establish this newsletter and send it around and hopefully grow it. So please sign up. And before I hang up, I'm sorry that I talk so much today. I still have 3 updates here on my phone. The first one is from Pivo. And he said, I did make a fork of the contracts editor for the workshop, also to demonstrate possible great additions for the Fire editor. So he, for his work in Uruguay, he did a fork of the editor itself, improved it, and shows it there. They were updating the governance app for Lima, which is basically ready. They can launch it already on the 12th of November. This is kind of the plan for now, but still there's also a lot of PR and stuff involved. They update the documentation for the governance app to make it as easy as possible for everyone to check and especially run their own instance of the governance app, so you don't have to trust the hosted one that we provide. And they updated the Graffiti app, which is currently not really in use for Lima. And then it will be also get an own landing page, like an own product. So, and will be an ongoing auction. And I also want to encourage really everyone here, like we did it now with the naming system, like just a simple micro page explaining the functionalities and the features, and giving the whole product a little bit more weight. I think this is a very good thing, and we are slowly moving into this direction. Stoyan is on the plane flying, and he was in Malta with, there is currently Eternity Starfleet. So there are an accelerator from Eternity Ventures in Bulgaria that try to accelerate blockchain startups. And he was there as a mentor. And they have released new functionality, and they have released, especially, the base app with the naming system, of course, and the naming system auction. They have updated the functionality that you can send to a name now, which is also working. And they are fighting with the native iOS and Android stores to also get it updated there. So kind of they also promote a little bit this progressive web app that you can use on your mobile in the browser, because it works. This is always up to date and works well there. And yeah, they fixed a couple of bugs, and they have implemented signing smart contract calls with Ledger devices. So if there are bigger stuff, this was not possible with Ledger before. Now it seems to be working. And also deep linking into the base app is ready for review. And now the last update comes from Nikita, who is working on the Fire editor. He contributed to the AEX2 and basically what's happening there, and also with the SDKs. He adjusted the Fire editor and worked a little bit, I think, with Umilen and with Pivo. And then he implemented that you can save the state of the editor. So when you were coding in separate wallets for separate users, and tab support, so you can have different tabs in the Fire editor. This is work in progress. So this was a very intense update, and yeah, with 37 minutes, I think we made a good job in updating everyone. Thank you for listening, and thank you for joining, and yeah, have a great rest of the day and a good weekend, and I see you all next week, hopefully. That's it.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye all.
Bye.